So we've had a great snow to start this early season, and that means people are wanting to get out and enjoy the backcountry, and especially get out and enjoy the various backcountry huts that Colorado has to offer. And if you're not familiar with it, Vail Mountain Rescue Group offers a free service for backcountry rescue. However, they are not a hut guiding service. And I'm here with Dan Smith, and you've got a pretty interesting story about backcountry huts and some adventures that have gone on this early season.
Like all our rescues are free. I mean, we answer the phone, Vail Mountain Rescue, we never charge.
Yeah.
We don't. But some people could make their lives and our lives easier. When you're going to the huts, any of them, there's a couple of huts that are close in. The 210th Mountain huts up on Tennessee Pass are only a quarter mile from the parking lot, and a lot of people take kids there. But most of the huts are 6 to 10 miles from the trailhead.
Yeah.
Well, in summer, if you're, a 40 or 50-year-old and you're a decent hiker, you're going to make 3 miles an hour. In winter, you might make 1. If you're a very, very good teleskier, you can make better than that. What typically happens on hut trips about 6 or 7 times a year, people start late and they have the wrong gear. People are trying to snowshoe up to the hut, and they've got friends with them who are on skis. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is the ski friends are going to get tired of slogging along with the snowshoers, and they're going to take off, and they're going to get to the hut. So now the snowshoers are abandoned. They may or may not have a navigation device, mostly on the not side.
Yeah.
And they'll get in the dark because they didn't allow enough time. If you're going to go to the huts, start at 8 o'clock in the morning. The huts clear out at 11 o'clock. We've got a map here that the guys will show for me. On the hut system website are electronic maps showing all the trails and all the distances. You don't have to even go buy a topo map. This is as good as the topo maps we'll use when we have to come get you. But twice, once at Vance and once at Eisman Hut now, we've had to go get people or get ready to go get people that just mistimed their trip to the hut. And their friends get there and they get nervous and they call, which is exactly what we want them to do. And of those 6 or 7 in a year, we'll physically have to get 3. My favorite is a group of Australians we had to pull off the back of Resolution Mountain. It was snowing so hard you couldn't see the glow from the hut on the other side of the mountain. And we did have some language difficulties. Fortunately, we had a New Zealander who came close to speaking Australian and could translate for us. Well, sometimes, pure Aussie is kind of hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, they run things together.
Words blur, and when you start talking numbers, it really gets wild.
Yeah.
But so if you're going to do the hut trips, look at the distances, get a reasonable estimate of your rate of travel. Especially Eisman, you're going 3,000 feet uphill. That's going to take you a while.
Yeah.
And if it's fresh snow and you have smaller snowshoes, the type most people own or rent,
you're going to post
hole. If you got the big shoes that we have, you're going to stay on top, but you're still going to move very, very slow.
Yeah.
So save everybody time, money, and effort.
Really, the best advice if you do want to get out on these hut trips is know your navigation.
Oh,
have a compass with you. Be aware of what directions you're going to go, and give yourself as much daylight as possible.
Later in the season, we'll see places where the blue diamonds that are nailed on trees that mark these trails are about knee-high to you on the snow instead of being way over your head. You can miss them, and once you miss them, you're going to have trouble picking up the next one.
Yeah.
And if you start to wander off, typically you wander downhill, and typically that's wrong.
And you can't expect a trail to be there because wind can overnight just sweep across the trail.
Or in 2 hours. If you've got skiers that went ahead of you, their ski tracks are going to blow over if we get a good wind.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Dan.
Pleasure,
I appreciate it. Hopefully people can heed a little bit of our advice, but get out there and enjoy the backcountry, but just be aware when you're going out there and stay safe, everybody. And coming up next, we're going to check in with Ashley at Beaver Creek.